runs out of bounds at the Green Bay 47, picks up 4, pending the penalty, and it appears, and it will be, against the Packers.
And I think that was Frank Winters working on Brad Culpepper.
Holding offense, number 52.
Yeah.
10 yards.
Got it.
Still first down.
And it's right in the middle of your screen. There's number 52, Frank Winters, the center, working on Brad Culpepper right here. Culpepper anticipates it extremely well. Goes over the top, and there's the tackle. So you look on the game of the tackle sheet, there's going to say Frank Winters won. Unfortunately, it was a flag. But what that was Culpepper understanding what they were trying to do to it. So he jumped to the front side real quick.
This is an understanding defense with Dungy.
I understand.
First down and 20. Wide open is William Henderson with his first chance of the game. And Henderson gets back all but 8 of those yards.
That's what he looked like out there. That looked like Curly. You know, you forget about William Henderson. It's easy to forget about him because he's a quiet guy. He quietly does his job inside. And then he does stuff like this. Jump over one guy, run through 2 tackles, has very good feet, has very soft hands for a big man.
Through the air, the Packers have gained nearly 200 yards more than Tampa Bay. Second down and 7. Favre lets go of it and incomplete. That was intended for Freeman. There's a penalty marker down. Anthony Parker, and another flag has gone down after the first one.
That's going to be a push on Parker. He ran up his back. Now the question will be, is it uncatchable or not?
Freeman is shaken up.
Lost in all
Pass
that.
interference
Right.
on the defense, number 27. That's an automatic first down.
Lost in all that was the nice blitz pickup. Off the corner, going to bring Lynch. Dorsey Levens does a good job of picking up the blitz. There's number 1. Okay. Number 2, there's the break on the ball. Clearly, he hit him as he was making the break outside, and that's what the official saw.
Derek Mays has replaced Antonio Freeman, who's still being worked on. Anthony Parker's had a rough day out there for the Tampa Bay Bucks. From the 44, the give is to Dorsey Levens, and nothing there. Levens with his 17th carry of the game, and Mike Holmgren did not want to work him that much today. Remember, he carried 31 last week against Minnesota on a Monday, and 33, his career high, the week before against Dallas. So he has been a very busy running back for Green Bay.
See, the other part to that is if they were chunking him on defense and they had it going, he'd keep handing them the football. But this Tampa Bay defense has done a pretty good job of taking the run away.
Second down and 8. And pass complete to Shimura, and a good tackle in the open field made by Derek Brooks.
Boy, this Tampa defense really gets to the football. Derek Brooks does an excellent job. And Derek Brooks isn't a big guy. He has very good instincts. He runs extremely well, and sometimes that's overplayed about how fast he is. So it's more than that, the kid's a football player.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking to get into the playoffs with a win, thanks to support from the likes of Derek Brooks. 3rd and 5. And penalty marker down, and let's see if the right side of the offensive line moved for the Packers.
Prior to the snap, neutral zone infraction on the defense, number 72.
Chidiahana
The movement of the offense is caused by the defense being in the
Let's take
neutral
a
zone.
step back and look at the NFC playoff picture. The division winners go to the playoffs. Now the 49ers and Packers already in the playoffs. Niners have won the division title. Giants lead in the East. Right now, Tampa Bay would be the #1 wild card team. The Minnesota Vikings second, and the Detroit Lions, who face Miami on the road tonight, would be third. But all that could change, and Packers trying to join the 49ers as division titleists, and they can with a win today. Buccaneers get into the playoffs for the first time in 15 years if they can beat the Pack today. But they trail 14-6 early here in the fourth.
Well, you look at all those playoff things, and it's just a humdinger of a thing trying to figure it out. I mean, you can't figure it out.
And it always goes down to the last week, doesn't it?
As it should.
And as we anticipated, the largest crowd ever to see the Buccaneers play in this stadium today, 73,523. And you can tip your hat to a lot of the Packer fans as well, Matt, for their turnout as well.
Now, you can tip your hat to all football fans because they can smell a good football game when they have one. And right now, we're in the middle of a real good one.
Third down and inches. There is Henderson, first down and more. William Henderson to the 39-yard line of Tampa Bay. Not only got inches, he got 8 yards.
And he got it the old-fashioned way. He earned it. He just kept on driving. You watch William Henderson, and here he comes. Look at the pads, nice and low. Goes off the block of Buckshaw, runs over Mincy, and then here comes the rest of the boys. But just an excellent job of power running.
And the first rush of the day for William Henderson, who is one of the better lead blockers in the NFL now. From the 39, they go to Dorsey Levens. And that time, Hardy Nickerson, with help from John Lynch, make the tackle. 1-yard gain.
I think 2 players on this offense who have really made a difference in the running game. Actually 3. One is Dorsey Levens. As the season's gone on, he's got a feel for things. William Henderson, their big fullback, has done an excellent job of changing up how he blocks. Not only power, he'll finesse you and cut you. And then Ross Verber, that left tackle, completed the picture.
And remember, the Packers started this drive from their own 3. And Brett Favre calls a timeout, and that will be the first timeout by Green Bay in the second half. We'll be right back.
Eldorado with the North Star system. Are you ready to live without limits?
Ever since I can remember, Jake did things his own way.
Nobody believed him when he said he was going to surf the mountain.
Snowboarding will never be as popular as skiing.
Yeah.
Why do I use a car? I spent my whole life doing things my own way. American Express never questioned it.
I'm Simon Woodruff, and what I do is Yo Sushi. Technology for us is about learning our own business. Nobody in their right mind would open a restaurant if you look at the figures. We have to find a new supplier for seaweed. Just a very quickly seared tuna. I don't actually come from a restaurant background. I come with an open mind.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealers. By Microsoft, where do you want to go today? And by the Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
We're back in Tampa after a Packer timeout. Once again, here's what's at stake. Packer victory delivers them a 3rd straight division title and a first-round bye. But if the Bucs win, they get their first playoff berth in 15 years. There is Steve Walsh and Trent Dilfer. One of them will be the quarterback soon. And on 2nd down and 9, Dorsey Levens on a swing pass has a first down inside the Tampa Bay 30-yard line.
2 things for that play. One is Favre and Levens on the same page for the hot read. And the other one, and maybe one you don't see, is Antonio Freeman making sure he takes the coverage of Dorsey Levens. Almost kind of a pick play. Just comes in, gets in the way, and down the sideline he goes.
There's Antonio Freeman, who is back in the game after being shaken up. And since the first quarter, it has been all Green Bay. But their lead is still only 8 points. Levens. And he gets a couple of yards on first down. Derek Brooks undercutting Dorsey Levens with under 9.5 remaining in the fourth.
Watch the expression on Antonio Freeman's face. See, he may not have known what was going on at the line of scrimmage. All he knew was it wasn't going his way, so he just kind of stayed out of the way. But I think Antonio Freeman, now as opposed to the beginning of the season, night and day. I think he's back on top of his game, and he's one of my favorite receivers in this league.
And he's had a big game with 5 catches for 73 yards. 2nd and 9. Pressure put on Favre, and unloads it to Levens. Dorsey Levens with a first down, carrying Hardy Nickerson a few extra yards. And the Green Bay Packers are rolling. That was the 10th straight completion thrown by Brett Favre.
Tell you who else is on a roll is Ross Verber, the rookie left offensive tackle. Because he knows that it's coming quick, and he has to get his hands down. So you cut the defensive end, Upshaw, and that allows the pass to come off. You can see right there. See that block right there? Levens to get into the flat. Excellent job by Verba.
He's only a rookie from Iowa, number 1 pick, but very important to protect Favre from that left tackle spot. First down from the 15. And this time Dorsey Levens is tripped up by Derek Brooks, and a loss of a yard on the play.
You're going to have to earn every inch against that Tampa Bay defense. They're not going to give you any cheap ones. You can create some things, and when you look at the big picture of this game, the difference in the game today is Brett Favre. The first touchdown pass was brought to you by his legs. The second touchdown pass, again, by his legs and his sense of where that line of scrimmage is.
So he was sponsored by his legs.
Sponsored by his feet. Yep, you're right. And by his legs.
2nd and 11. Favre under pressure from Sack and knocked away, nearly intercepted by Jeff Gooch. And that must have been a dangerous situation for Brett Favre and the Packers, who did turn it over 3 times in the first half, with the Bucs getting field goals on 2 of those turnovers.
This drive right here reminds me of the drive they had on Monday night against the New England Patriots when they drove 99 yards, I believe.
Turning point of the year, maybe.
Yeah, it may have been. And right now they're on a good one again.
3rd and 11. Favre stepping up, has another open man. It's Dorsey Levens once again, and he gets to the 10-yard line, short of the first down by about 5. Anthony Parker, who's had his problems covering the receivers today, and you can't really blame him with the great protection that Favre has gotten from his offensive line, and that will bring up 4th down and a field goal try coming up.
The other thing about Anthony Parker, sometimes he's had great coverage, but it's Favre threading the needle. I mean, there's sometimes you can't defend those balls.
Ryan Longwell at a 31-yard field goal blocked. Bungled and blocked. This is a 27-yard attempt. And this kick, not bungled or blocked, but beautiful. It's a good kick by Ryan Longwell, and it adds to the Green Bay lead. Packers lead 17-6.
Bungled, blocked, and beautiful.
All of that.
Still shaving with blades. We know how you feel about that. The Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
They give us heroes, they give us hope, they let us laugh and cry, and fall in love. Movies touch us as few things can. Any technology that heightens the experience of watching movies at home makes life even more enjoyable.
DVD video from Philips Magnavox. Technology for the heart, the spirit, and the imagination.
Are you looking for that red-hot gift this holiday? That gift that's hotter than hot. The one on everyone's list? Then come to Wendy's and get a spicy chicken sandwich. It's very hot. And while you're there, say hello to Dave.
El Dorado with the North Star system. Are you ready to live without limits?
Find out who topped the Billboard charts in country with performances by Garth Brooks and Leanne Rimes at the 1997 Billboard Music Awards live tomorrow at 8, 7 Central.
Packers lead 17-6. There is Trent Dilfer, who is a game guy today, and you knew that it got emotional for him. He'll give way now to the veteran Steve Walsh as the Packers will kick off leading 17-6. 16 plays, 88 yards. More important, 10.5 minutes chewed up by Green Bay. And the Buccaneers still waiting to run their first offensive play of this fourth quarter. Riddell Anthony back deep at the 2, receiving Longwell's kick. Anthony, the rookie from Florida, dragged down at the 28-yard line. We'll come back to Steve Walsh and the Bucs in just a moment.
Hello, remember me? It's him. He can see us. Do you want to die tonight?
Someone is taking their love of sequels one step too far.
What am I supposed to do?
If there is some freaked out psycho, they're probably already in your life.
On Friday, December 12th, be a part of the most terrifying motion picture event of the year. Scream 2, rated R, everywhere December 12th.
Mark, if you're at the airport before my 8 o'clock flight, maybe we can talk. Otherwise, it's over.
Come on. Come on. Oh, God. Oh, no. That's battery.
No matter what my customers drive, they depend on AC Delco batteries. They last up to 30% longer.
I'm sure they do. Just give me the generic equipment, okay?
AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
I'm Ironhead Hayward. I'm used to challenges, and I challenge you to try Zest Deodorant Body Wash. Now, I hear you snickering. But Ironhead, aren't body washes for ladies? Ow! Listen, chump, Zest doesn't have heavy moisturizers. But Ironhead, what's with this thingy? That lather builder works with Zest Body Wash to give you twice the fresh-smelling lather of this bar, and it rinses cleaner. So you're cleaner, more refreshed, period.
Zest Body Wash. Get cleaner, more refreshed.
Get zestfully clean.
I've been the equipment manager for the New York Jets for over 34 years. I've suited up more than 3,000 players. As long as I work this long, it's crazy to retire. The Jets are like my family. They're like my own kids.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's?
Packer fans have a lot to cheer about, but Steve Walsh, Tampa Bay is his 5th NFL team in 9 years. Those are his numbers, taking over for Trent Dilfer. First down on the Bucs 28. Bucs trail by 11, and Walsh's first pass, and that is caught by Carl Williams for a short gain. Trent Dilfer went out in the second quarter with a sprained right ankle after this play, the sack by Reggie White, and then Dilfer was carted off the field. And he came back in the second half, tried to give it a go, but certainly couldn't do much on that gimpy ankle, man.
And then it was the frustration on the sideline. I think he had himself a good try, but I think Trent Dilfer may have taken another step of maturity here today.
No question about that. Second down and 7, and the pass overthrown, intended for Warwick Dunn. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Dick and Matt, Giants trying to make sure they determine their own way. Fake reverse. Tiki Barber, 42 yards. That sets up a Danny Cannell to Chris Callaway touchdown pass. 3 TDs today by Cannell. Giants on top, 28-14. Back to Dick and Matt.
And as you said, JB, the Giants can control their own fate and could take a 2-game lead over Philadelphia with the Redskins and Cardinals coming up in a little while. Third down and 7. And a flag down.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 70. 5 yards, still third down.
Jason Odom, the right tackle, who's tasked going into today, going against Reggie White.
Done a pretty good job.
Yes, he has.
Quietly done a pretty good job. He's getting some help, but that's fine. I mean, you knew going into it that he was going to have to do something over there, and he's gotten that part done.
3rd down and 12 coming up for Steve Walsh. So a brief action against Detroit earlier in the year. Not played much, though. Here comes pressure on Walsh. And Walsh going up on top, and he has a receiver, and it's caught by Carl Williams. Williams makes the catch at the Green Bay 35-yard line. Darren Sharper finally got to him, but a gain of 38.
Nice job by Walsh. And feeling the pressure, but you know he doesn't have the big arm, but you don't have to. All you have to do is find a hole in the zone, and he throws it to where no one is. And an excellent job of Carl Williams. Look at the concentration. Over the shoulder and coming down with a catch.
4 catches for 80 yards for Carl Williams after being shut out back in October at Lambeau. That's a career-high yardage number for Carl Williams. 1st and 10 at the Packer 36. Off the hands of Dave Moore, the tight end. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
This Tampa Bay offense came out intent on picking the defenders. And they did it early, and they're doing it again. Do a nice job of running their routes, knowing that the defender for the back swinging out or the fullback swinging out has to be taken, and they just knock him off.
Reggie White on the sidelines here, and the Packers having to spell both Gilbert Brown and Reggie White today. Second and 10, and here's Mike Allstott, has a bit of a hole, tripped up and gets to the 31-yard line. Gain of 5.
Dick, I'm sitting here watching this game, and it's coming down. Remember Riddell Anthony in the first quarter, wide open. He beats Tyrone Williams right there with the stumble, and he has 6 points written all over him, but his lack of concentration forces the incompletion.
And Anthony, highly regarded rookie. He and Warwick Dunn, first-round picks, shut out today. 3rd down and 5 for the Buccaneers in the shadows here in Tampa. Steve Walsh up the middle, overthrows his man, and Pryor makes the interception. He does. Mike Pryor picks it off as Steve Walsh trying to get to his tight end. Jackie Harris overthrows him, and the Packers get the ball back.
I wasn't looking for love. With just a glance it happened. Love came looking for me. Get out of my way!
Dockers, khaki.
Disney's Flubber, now America's #1 movie, has bounced into McDonald's for a holiday event that's gonna rock. For a limited time, our very own tempting and cheesy triple cheeseburger is back for just 99 cents. Or you can kick off your morning with a world-famous 99-cent Egg McMuffin. But you better get moving. Go Flubber. Go Flubber. Or you'll flub up your chance to get your hands on one.
Two nearly identical Porsche 911s. One destined for Le Mans, the other for a quieter life in America. But then again, expecting any Porsche to lead a quiet life may be asking a bit too much.
Hi.
Porsche, there is no substitute.
No, this one's on us, sir.
Right.
Tonight,
Who is this? She needs your help.
has Scully's sister returned from the dead?
Go to her.
An all-new X-Files, tonight at 9, 8 Central.
Darren Sharper on your left, and on the right, Jackie Harris. And why we're mentioning them, I want you to watch right here. Here's Sharper, here's Harris. Tell me if you see any kind of a hold or anything, maybe right there. And because he gave him that little bit of a hold, he wasn't able to get into the flow, and the ball came off too high. And actually, it was a poor throw by Walsh, but Sharper's grab inside of Harris had something to do with that.
So that is the second turnover of the game by Tampa Bay, and time slipping away from them with a 17-6 lead. The Buccaneers will now call a timeout to stop the clock. That is their second timeout of the second half. Well, tomorrow, Fox honors the hottest stars in music, including Garth Brooks, LeAnn Rimes, Aerosmith, Jewel, and more at the 1997 Billboard Music Awards. It all happens tomorrow live at 8, 7 Central, right here on Fox.
You know, Dick, watching the pregame show, listening to Terry Bradshaw's piece on the Buccaneers, and at the end of that piece, he said Tampa Bay with a Super Bowl coming soon, and I have to agree with him.
No question.
Because Tampa Bay is right now where Green Bay was just 3 years ago.
Well, here's a team that was 1-8 after 9 games last year. Second down and 8 for the Packers. Here's Dorsey Levens. And Nickerson gets him at the 20, and the Buccaneers will use their third and final timeout with 3:34 remaining. Well, since Brett Favre threw that interception in the second quarter to John Lynch, he has completed 20 of 24 for 202 yards and a touchdown. And you said it best a little while ago, the difference really in this game, both teams' defenses have played well, has been number 4.
Yeah, there's no question. Favre knew he had to get the job done yesterday. When we sat down and talked with him, he knew it was going to be that kind of game. He said he'd throw a lot of balls. He just had to take and be patient underneath.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the NFL is prohibited. Keep in mind, the Buccaneers, they lose today, still need one win to get into the playoffs. And next week they play the Jets on the road, and they close against the Bears here in Tampa. Third down and 5, and here's Dorsey Levens, and he's not going to get there. Derek Brooks stops him at the 20. So let's take a look at the NFC Central schedule. Packers will win the division if they hold on, and they're looking for home field throughout. The Bucs need one win for a playoff. Vikings schedule, and they play San Francisco next, coming up on Fox. And the Lions, very much alive right now. They would be the final wild card team. They play Miami later.
And they're past the roll. They're on a bagel. They got that offense humming.
Sweet cheese, sir.
It doesn't matter what it's with. I eat anything.
Carl Williams is back for the Buccaneers, and Craig Hendrick will kick.
Timeout by the Green Bay Packers. Mike Pryor standing right in front of the official to make sure he gets it down to the last second before he calls that timeout.
And Green Bay with one timeout left. Again, want to remind you, the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers are featured attraction coming up next in the second half of our Fox NFL doubleheader. Redskins-Cardinals, a big one for the Redskins. But Minnesota, coming off of several losses in a row, need a win, and the 49ers know that Green Bay is right behind them in the battle for home field advantage. There are the schedules. The Niners with Minnesota next, then Denver at home, and at Seattle. The Packers will go to Carolina and close at Lambeau Field against the Buffalo Bills. Two minutes, 47 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Line drive, end-over-end kick. Carl Williams on the run. And a great tackle made by Bernardo Harris. Otherwise, Williams might have gotten some deep yardage into Green Bay territory.
They still have good field position right here.
Today's game was produced by Richard Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. And a special thanks to our technical engineers, Ken Fitzgerald, Mel Shields, Mike Muniz, Bill Kemper, and Pat Connolly. And, of course, Dean Walker and his entire technical staff, another great job. Senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
And we didn't bungle that.
Can't do that. Buccaneers are out of timeouts. First down on their 48. They trail by 11. And the pass caught by Carl Williams and brought down by Doug Evans. Well, they haven't gone to Evans much tonight, and why not after his performance against Minnesota Monday night?
Not only Monday night, he's been playing very, very well this year.
Buccaneers out of timeouts. The next stoppage of the clock for a timeout will be the 2-minute warning. Walsh's pass is deflected at the line.
Leroy Butler got his hand on that thing. Leroy Butler is as much a defensive lineman as he is a linebacker as he is a defensive back. I mean, the guy just he's molded all into one. And I agree with your assessment earlier about Leroy Butler, where you said, how often does a secondary man control a game the way he does? And in all phases of the game. Look at the great awareness. Gets his hands up, knocks the thing down.
Third down and 3. No one better at strong safety in the league than Leroy Butler. Steve Walsh pumps once and the pass thrown underneath to Jackie Harris. And that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. It'll be 4th and less than a yard. 2-minute warning here in Tampa.
Miller Lite presents
A stone's throw from Soldier Field, we find a man who's not throwing stones, but rather throwing down a challenge to all Bears fans. Don Wachter attends every home game wearing an actual stuffed bear on his head. Let others settle for face paint. Don is a fan who takes pride in taking his support to a new, albeit somewhat disturbing level.
Stampede tomorrow night, 2 a.m.
Check out the stars who top the Billboard charts in rock all year long on music's biggest night, the 1997 Billboard Music Awards, live tomorrow at 8/7 Central.
My guys will get you. You're invincible, man. There's outside, and you covered it. You get such a thrill when they smash them in the grill. Oh, your favorite hits the big blindside blitz. I'm gonna come this time. It only happens once a year. So grab a seat and smell the beer. Let's all beat for Howie's Tough Guys. Show's over without. You got a problem with that?
Check out Howie's Tough Guys on Fox NFL Sunday at 12 Eastern.
2-minute warning with the score 17-6. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who started off, and the I'll tell you what, that's not the Green Bay green, but I guess any shade will do. As the pack,
the Chia Packers,
right?
See, a couple years ago we had Macarena with cheese. Now we got the Chia Packers,
and the broadheads now are coming into play as well as the cheeseheads.
I like those cheese rear end things they put on their keisters.
And the cheese shovels for Gilbert Brown when he shovels after making a play.
The old grave digger.
4th down and 1 for the Buccaneers. Their hopes, whether they continue right here. Walsh will throw, and it'll be dropped by Jackie Harris, and that'll turn it over to the Packers with 1:54 to go, and that will be that.
And that is a big win for the Packers. It's also a game that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come out of and say, you know what? We're just as good as that team across the field.
But they'll have to wait for another year.
They will have to wait, but their season is not done, and they could still see Green Bay down the line this year.
So let's look at the standings, giving the Packers the victory. They have clinched their third straight division title and will get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Bucks, 9-5, still very impressive. Need still one more win to gain the playoffs. The Bucks won their first 5, lost 3, won 3. And after losing to the Bears, beat the Giants last week, but could not get into a tie for first place today. And, you know, Matt, the Green Bay Packers had to climb big mountains in beating the Dallas Cowboys. 2 hurdles. And then Minnesota on the road last week. They did that. And then they had this game again. And you wondered whether they could really stay above there for the third straight week. And defensively, they proved they could.
Well, I think they are where they were, not a year ago, but they have that same kind of feel about them. And I think the biggest key is I think something clicked with Brett Favre right around that New England game. And I think the guy who made it click, and this may sound a little far-fetched, but I think Ross Verba is a main key in that whole thing.
Well, he came through because that position had been a problem even in the playoffs. And so the Packers, after being embarrassed, losing to the Indianapolis Colts, who were winless at the time, have responded with big wins against Dallas, Minnesota on the road, and now the Tampa Bay Bucks on the road. And the defense did the job today. The Packers limited Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott to a total of 67 yards rushing.
Now, we said at the start of the game that would be the key, and there's your key for you. They took away that running game, and then Favre did the rest.
So the game will be over. The Green Bay Packers shower Mike Holmgren with Gatorade. He has won his third straight division title, and the Packers will get a bye in the first round, and now they're looking for home field advantage, which is still within range. Final score, the Packers 17, the Buccaneers 6, and our Energizer play of the game. And it was the first touchdown pass, Robert Brooks on the receiving end from Brett Favre.
And again, we talked about it earlier, this play brought to you by Brett Favre's feet. Because he's able to force the defense to readjust, he finds Brooks down the field, and it was 6 quick.
Brooks caught 3 passes for 71 yards. Antonio Freeman with a big game. And that is the story here. The Packers win before the largest crowd ever to see a game at Tampa Bay Stadium to see the Bucks. Final score 17-6. And when we come back, we'll be joined in our Hollywood studios.
Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
Hi again. I'm Steve Sable, and I'm back with...
Okay, class, rules of driving. Norman.
Observe the speed limit, stay 2 car lengths behind, and always pass on the left.
Wrong answer.
There are driving schools, and there are driving schools. At the Russell Racing School in Sonoma, California, you only fail if you get passed. But don't forget your Visa card, because you won't move an inch using American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Hi, I'm Craig Kilborn, host of your Daily Show, where every day we tackle the burning questions, like how do you define class? Yeah. Can celebrities really move stuff with their minds? And where do you place the salad fork when setting a small child? We're soft news with a hard edge, and so much more. The Daily Show, Monday through Thursday nights at 7 and 11, here at Comedy Central.
Hey, Coach, you ready to play today? I-24. I-24. Oh, 73. Oh, 73.
This is it. This is it.
I-16. I-16. Bingo! Bingo! I won! I got bingo!
That's real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
Ready for the next game? Sign up for the NFL Sunday Ticket. It's like having your own network because you're the one who puts together the program schedule. So following your favorite team is as easy as finding the right channel.